What is going on, everyone? Days here coming at you with another video on Pantheon, on Control, and this topic is just going to be about spawns in Destiny. How I feel that they should be fixed or quote unquote, adjusted, whatever. Um, and this gameplay really isn't about the gameplay itself. It's just about what it is to an extent, because it really just shows how broken the spawns can be depending on the scenario. Um, depending on the scenario. Like in this gameplay at the very beginning, you see that my team it's a really interesting match right here. Right now, we're both fighting for B. That makes total sense, and everything seems fun. Everything is fine, and our team can try to push in and stuff. But later in the match, we completely just spawn trap the shit out of the enemy team, and then like a few people end up rage quitting, like 3 or 4, and it's really not fun. Like I think Pantheon has the biggest issues when it comes to this because the corridors are just so easy to spawn kill because you can have people watching the left and the right, and that's basically just 2 spawns that people can go up to. Eventually, somebody will try to push behind you and stuff, or the spawns will flip, but rarely the occasion happens. And right here, there's only one person in my fire team, and this basically just shows that the spawns, you don't even need communication. We're not even communicating with these people, and I'm here because like the I'm using the defender and the bad juju, so like I'm trying to have my super as much as possible so that I can give it to my team back, and so I had and basically you'll see later on that like right now, we're just shooting and just waiting into their spawn. And our teammate just tries to push in, but he gets shotgunned. And then other teammate cleans him up. Pretty much just that, all this map is. Just cleanups and cleanups right here. Nobody was covering on the right because they pushed in too far. And they pushed in, and the enemies pushed in. Sure, some may argue that map control is really important thing, which it is. It is, in all honesty, it really is. But there's times like you'll see towards the end you'll see that sure we had really great map control and stuff, but why should the map control be able to just decide the justice of the game? Why should it be able to not give the enemy team not even to have a chance to come back, and like right here, when they capped B, they had a good time trying to basically try to win map control back, but we just rapidly gain it back. Like it's as simple as that. And sure, some skill depends on that, you know, but it's not hard to just keep away from the enemy spawn. And if the occasional spawn flip does happen, like right here, he tries to put this warlock, the Nova Bombers, his plan was to push in to try to cause a spawn flip, but then he returned back to his spawn because he was getting aggroed on. But it just doesn't get any fun when you're just shooting into some people's spawn and just blocking off the areas that they come out of. It's like I'm using the defender because I want to give my teammates their supers, which really helps them basically control the spawn even further. So like I'm trying to help it out to spawn check because all this map is. There are a few maps I can't think of at the top of my head, but they are a problem in this also. But Pantheon is the biggest. That's why the gameplay fits perfect to it. So, and I feel like the game should be able to detect if somebody is near you, like I don't know, 5-7 feet, some shit like that. If there is an enemy near you, to spawn you somewhere else. Control doesn't have the biggest issues. I'd say more like what's called Rumble and stuff like that. Because there's literally a ton of times. There's times where I don't even want to play Rumble anymore because it gets so stupid where an enemy can just like spawn right next to you, spawn literally on top of you. It's fucking annoying. Like you either get spawn killed or you get that, um, or you get the spawn kill. And why? I don't know why that stuff works. Like, sure, some might argue that it's your fault for dying for so much. I mean, that's the argument that I've put on myself. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's your fault. You died too much, so the game can't decide where to spawn you because there's so much chaos going on during the match. Okay, yeah, I get that, but it comes to the point to where like it's just not fun to spawn and spawn next to the enemy and get killed. Like right here, we're already holding down the spawn really good, and we're just it's just because of all the fucking chaos that we're just shooting them. Like right here, already someone's already starting to leave, and our teammates already pushing in to fucking super them and to super them, and it's just like, well, is that how it's supposed to be? Like we don't need the best. That this just shows we don't need any communication at all to fucking be able to spawn trap. It just seems to happen. And like I'm not asking for people to spawn behind you because that's the problem that Call of Duty used to have, and that shit was annoying. But I'm just saying the game should be able to detect if there's enemies in X proximity that okay, just gonna try to move the spawn. Something's easily not happening here because the maps in Destiny are pretty big to where if somebody's spawn trapping, if the whole team is just spawn trapping you, and then it just automatically assigns a spawn flip, there's the enemy the what's called the enemies won't have enough time to return to the spawn. Also depends on the map. Like if it's timekeeper or some shit, the enemies won't have enough time to return back to their spawn and start shooting you. So it automatically makes them want to capture the opposite flag that you are holding. For example, in this case, the enemies could have spawned at A, and then it would force us to capture C. Now, A spawn has definitely a better advantage when it comes to spawns. And also spawn advantage, I really don't agree with at all. Because there's many maps in this game where there's totally an advantage. Like there's a totally an advantage where you have it's either height advantage or it could be also fucking or it could be just like leverage. Like I'm not saying leverage as in height. I'm saying leverage as in cover. Like you have so like you like this spawner here has so much cover that we can literally hide behind the pillars, hide behind the walls, and anything. It has so much cover for the end. On the opposite side, they just have a straight fucking spawn to just come out and everything. There's many times where I just continuously kept saying this is stupid, this shouldn't be a thing because it shouldn't be. And I just hope maybe eventually Bungie looks at the spawns in the game and tries to adjust them some way. But this has been the end of the video. It's been Day Sniping, and I'm out. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.